Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2023, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy AF. Rock on, gold dust woman. Boost! How are you guys doing today? It is so hot in Indianapolis. It is like 97, 98 degrees out here. Full humidity, but I'm out here filming for you. Filming for you in the heat. My neighbor just came outside and she had her hose and I said, are you getting ready to water your plants? And she said, no. She said, I'm getting ready to clean out the trash can. I go, you're cleaning out the trash? I go, I am too. That's what I'm getting ready to do. She goes, are you going to be railing on that Colleen Behringer today? I go, no, I'm not going to be railing on Colleen Behringer today. Today, it's Shane Dawson Day. I think that I'm going to change my channel, my job description. My new job description is going to be talking about the most polarizing people on YouTube because it seems that no matter what video I make, I get like the most controversial comments. You know, people are like, Peter, I totally agree with you. Peter, I absolutely don't agree with you whatsoever. And, you know, the last time that I made a Shane Dawson video, I think it was the last time, I said that I thought that Shane Dawson needed to get a haircut. And that I thought he would look nicer with a haircut or something like that, you know, and people were like, Peter, you're body shaming Shane Dawson. Don't you know that he and Rylan are growing the hair out? I don't care, okay? It's an opinion that I think that he should get his haircut, that he looks nicer with a haircut. That's my opinion, okay? And so since all of you out there want to call that body shaming, when you come and you want to notice that one hair that's hanging off my chin that I forgot to get when I trimmed my beard, that's body shaming, okay? When I have like a little piece of fluff right here in my shirt, that's body shaming, okay? You're body shaming me. Stop body shaming me. I'm over it. I'm tired. Stop body shaming me. Saying somebody looks nice with a haircut and should get a haircut. That's called body shaming somebody. Okay, whatever. Pull this leg and it plays Jingle Bells. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Shane Dawson. Now, I might not be making a video over here tomorrow because tomorrow is my anniversary. My husband and I have been together 15 years tomorrow and married 12 years. So we're spending the whole day together. So I don't know that I'll be filming. I don't know that listen, I am not stopping this video and doing 15 takes, okay? If I get something wrong or I make a mistake, we're just going with it today, okay? Peter is the beatboxer of the world. Okay, so anyway, I don't know that I'm going to be filming a video over here tomorrow because my husband and I, who is calling me right now? Oh, it's my good Judy Ballerini. Hey, Ballerini. Tomorrow, I'm going to be hanging out and spending the whole day with my husband, so I don't know that I am going to be filming a video over here. So I thought I would bring you guys a real special one today. A Shane Dawson update. So let me tell you, the rabbit hole that I fell down, and that's not a rabbit hole you want to fall down. You don't want to fall down Shane Dawson's rabbit hole, okay? I'm just saying, that's not a rabbit hole you want to go down. Anyway, I'm just saying, in my opinion, y'all want to go up Shane Dawson's rabbit hole, have at it, okay? That's not a rabbit hole I want to go down. Anyway, but I fell down the rabbit hole of Shane Dawson today because, let me tell you, I was looking for different videos to do, and I had like a list of some videos I was going to make. I was like, no, I don't really want to talk about that today. That's like too serious. No, I don't really want to talk about that today. That's too serious. It was like all these serious topics, and I was like, I just kind of want to talk about something funny. Like how desperate and pathetic Shane Dawson is. So, I was remembering that Shane Dawson had put up this thing on his community tab. Now, Shane Dawson is very active on his Shane Dawson channel, his Shane channel, and on his Shane 2 channel, and on his podcast channel. He's very active on the community tabs. And so I was like, I didn't remember which one it was. And so I started going through my pictures and I was like, where is this picture? Because he had come out and he said, he was like announced, you know, how he always announces like 5-6 days in advance the newest video that he's going to put out to like draw this attention to it, right? And so I was like, what was that video? Because he was coming out with a video on his Shane 2 channel, right? And I remember that in that community tab post, he said something about it being his last video. He was like, posting my next video, blah, 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 my last video, or something like that. And it was very ambiguous. And I was like, oh, so was this like his last video that he was going to put over there? Well, what I noticed was that he had posted that video, but then he had posted another video. So I was like, well, I guess that wasn't your last video, Shane Dawson. Apparently, you just wanted people to go watch that video thinking that it was going to be your last video. And this is part of what is so pathetic and desperate about Shane Dawson, is that Shane Dawson does not trust his own talent. Shane Dawson does not trust that people think that his own fans, that there are many out there. He still gets really good views on his videos. I was looking, you know, like on his Shane channel, he's getting anywhere from 1 to 3 million views a video. His podcast does very, very well. His podcast that he does with Chris and Jared and his brother Jared and Ryland, and that podcast does very well. Now, he and Ryland have started their own podcast, okay? A podcast where they're fighting. The marketing for this podcast is them fighting, okay? And I have to believe it's because so many people talk about how they're constantly, like, digging at each other in videos. And so I think Shane was like, well, people are constantly talking about how we're digging at each other, and we're always, like, saying something nasty to each other. So we should turn this into a podcast. We should financially monetize us fighting with each other. And I'm like, okay, so yet again, Shane Dawson taking something like this and turning it into some kind of making money thing. And this is the thing. He must be, I don't know if he's running out of money or what's going on, but he's posting more and more videos on a regular basis, and he is marketing the hell out of these videos, okay? What's interesting to me is that Shane Dawson spends a lot of time marketing the videos and not so much time coming up with the ideas for the videos. If he spent a little bit more time. And, you know, I think what's interesting is that at the height of his career, you know, when he was doing, he started with the Graveyard Girl thing, and he had done a couple other, you know, extensive kind of videos before that, and then he did one with, like, the Tanacon thing, and the Jake Paul thing, and on it, Jeffree Star, and 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 somebody in the comment section of his community tab was like, please, Shane, go to Jeffree Star's ranch. You think they're good Judies anymore? You really think that they still talk on a regular basis? Like, y'all are fooled, okay? Y'all are fooled. He don't never talk about Jeffree in his videos. He don't never talk about Jeffree in his podcast. And they are not that good of friends. They act that way, okay, to continue to endorse each other's products, but they're really not that good of friends. Do you ever see them hang out? Do you ever see them talk on the phone? Do you ever really hear them mention each other? No, they don't, right? They're really not that good of friends. My friend Valerini just called me on the phone, okay? I talk about my friend Tanya Jean all the time. I talk about my neighbors across the street washing out their trash cans, okay? I think we know who's in Peter Monn's life, right? I think we know who's not in Shane Dawson's life, and that's Jeffree Star. So anyway, Shane Dawson spends so much time marketing his videos because he doesn't trust that people will watch his videos. And I think that goes back to the fact that he still believes that he's canceled and whatever, right? When, if you really want to look at this, yes, he had a major cancellation where a lot of people fell out of love with him, but he still gets pretty phenomenal views. I mean, he still gets 1 to 3 million views, you know, kind of across the board. You know, some of his videos aren't doing as great, 300,000, 500,000, but over the period of a week or two, yes, they hit about 1 million views. I think that's pretty good. No, it's not what he was getting, you know, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, stuff like that before the cancellation. But a lot of things have happened, and it's a different world on YouTube. Not a lot of people are getting those kind of views. A few people are, but not a lot of people. And those few people that are getting those views are not the kind of people that had major cancellations like Shane Dawson, right? Shane never really wanted to get in a video and address his faults of the past other than just to say, I'm sorry, I don't know who that person was, I'm a changed person, I'm not that person today. That's what he wanted to say, right? He didn't want to get into a video and address all of those things he had done in his past. He wanted to run and hide from it for a while and then come back to YouTube. Well, that's what happens, okay? Is that, you know, like I said, 30% of your people are never going to leave, 30% of your people are going to leave immediately, and the other people are sitting in the middle, sitting on the fence, waiting to see what you do, right? Well, the rest of those people that were sitting in the middle, they saw what Shane Dawson did. He didn't address the allegations. He didn't address the past scandals. He just kind of came out and said, I'm sorry, and then made jokes about being canceled, non-stop jokes about being canceled because he's still bitter about it, right? Because he doesn't feel like it was deserved. Which I think it would have been better for him to come out in a video and say, I don't think it was deserved. I don't think that what happened to me was fair. And this is why. And let me explain to you why I feel. I think that would have been a better stance than him not saying anything at all and acting bitter in all these videos and making jokes about it. But he didn't do that, right? So he's paying the price for that now. And the price is that he's not getting the same views that he was getting before. And part of that is YouTube. Part of that is that people are watching TikTok instead of YouTube. And part of it is because of Shane Dawson's cancellation. But let's just be for real. Shane Dawson had a major cancellation. He's still getting 1 to 3 million views a video. If he was posting several times a week on all of his channels, he would be making very good money, okay? And you know, people always want to talk about, like, well, sponsors this and sponsors that. Sponsors don't really care about cancellations and problematic people. They just don't, okay? And that's the truth of the matter all day long. Sponsors care about views. Sponsors care about, are you going to be able to pull people in and get them to buy their product, okay? So if Shane Dawson was consistently posting videos and getting 1 to 3 million views a video, trust me, he would be getting a lot of sponsors on his videos, okay? So I don't know, like, this whole marketing tactic is because he doesn't trust his own videos. He doesn't trust his own talent. And it's very, very obvious by what I found today, okay? So I went in here and I was like, I looked through all my pictures and I didn't have a receipt. I swore on the almighty baby Jesus that I had screenshot. But I guess I didn't, okay? But I did know that it was this picture because I, like, scanned in because somebody made a comment about this wallpaper. And so I scanned in to look at the wallpaper. So I remember that it was this picture, okay? And on this picture, he said, new video, okay? And then he, whatever, and he said, my last video, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. But I didn't watch it at the time, right? Okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking and I'm like going through all this. I'm like, I've seen this before. I'm seeing this before. Help. What should our new costume theme be for the podcast? I'm reading all this kind of stuff and I'm like, I've seen all of this before, right? Like I've seen, so this has to have been the post that Shane Dawson put up, but it doesn't say that. And I look over here and I get my reading glasses on and I'm like, oh, it says edited. He's edited the post. And I'm like, well, am I forgetting this? Did I get it wrong? Am I making it up in my head that he said in there that this was his last video that he was doing on there? Because at the time that I saw it, I thought, oh, here we go. And again, another Shane Dawson. This is the craziest. Okay, by the way, he posted on here. I'll show you in just a second if I can find it. But anyway, he posted on here about this podcast. And he said, oh, here it is right here. This is from 2 weeks ago. Okay? This might be the craziest episode we've ever filmed. Oh my God, girl, the craziest episode you've ever... The craziest, girl! No, girl! You just filmed the craziest episode of your podcast you've ever filmed right after you just filmed the craziest video that you've ever filmed. That cake bake video, girl, where you had people make cakes about your face. Oh, by the way, let's go in there and look at that video for a second, okay? Because I was like, oh, he put up a new video on his Shane channel, right? Because it's now the video is called The Scariest Day of My Life. I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's got a new video up, The Scariest Day of My Life. So I started watching it, which is how he tricks people into watching his videos multiple times, right? But right as I got into it, I started reading the comments, and I was like, oh no, this is the same video about the cakes, right? Here it is. And when you go to this, you pull up his name, it says right here, I paid bakers $1,000 each to bake my face, okay? But when you go to his channel, the channel says, The Scariest Day of My Life. Now, the last time that we looked at it was, my life was ruined. I have a screenshot of this somewhere. Here it is. This ruined my life, okay? So that was the one that I had the last time that I talked about it. So he's now changed the title of that video. I don't even know how many times, but let's see how many views it's sitting at right now. 1.3 million views. Not bad, okay? But not good enough that, I mean, it's average compared to his other views. So this title change thing that people are like, oh, well, a lot of YouTubers do that because it gets them a lot of views. Well, that's really sad if he's getting 1.3 million views. And this is where, like, back in the day, I remember when people were buying a lot of subscribers and people were talking about buying subscribers, and a couple people came and said, oh, Peter's buying subscribers. Listen, okay? Listen, Linda. I have never bought a subscriber for any of my channels, and I never will, because I knew, okay, that I was doing it for me, because I started this on BookTube, and I just did it because I wanted to be part of the community, and every channel that I've ever started was because I wanted to do something, had something to say, wanted to interact with you guys, and wanted to love it. I didn't really care what those numbers were. I wasn't consumed with those numbers like a lot of these people, right? And the thing is that when you're buying subscribers and you're faking numbers and things like that, you know that. You know that it's fake. So if you've bought, let's say, 500,000 subscribers and you're sitting at 700,000 subscribers, you know that you've only really got 200,000 subscribers. So you're just doing it for everybody else, okay? Well, listen, I'm way too old and I've had too much life experience that I don't need to be fakety with somebody like that, okay? I don't really care what my numbers are. I just appreciate the fact that you guys want to watch my videos. It means a lot to me for those of you out there that do, right? So, but what's interesting to me is that if he's doing this and he's tricking people to watch his videos because every time you go to it, it's a view, it's a view, it's a view. And he's changed it. And I think the last time I did the video, I said he had changed it 9 or 10 times or 12, 13, 14 times. So now it's called, hold on a second, the scariest day of my life. So now he's changed it like 15 or 16 times. And he's sitting at 1.3 million views. Well, how many of those 1.3 million views are double clicks from people like myself thinking it's a brand new video? There has to be quite a few. Let's just say 200,000, 300,000. You know, I mean, so that would like greatly reduce the amount of views. Well, Shane knows that. Which is why Shane is doing all this marketing on his videos, because he's so afraid that people aren't going to watch his videos because people are bored of him. Well, the reason that people are bored of him is because he continues to change his content. Or he continues to keep his content but act like he's changing it, okay? Which was very obvious to me when I fell down this rabbit hole. So anyway, so I go to this picture and I'm like, I'm almost positive this is the picture that I saw where he had said this. So I go underneath here, because I'm like, I remember when I read the comments under this community tab post that there were people that were like, I hope to God this isn't your last video, Shane. And I thought, so he would have had to have deleted those comments if he edited his post and just took out my last video. So what he did was, he said, this is my last video, or he put in their last video or whatever to get people to go watch it, thinking it's going to be his last video on that channel. And then as soon as he started getting people to watch the video, he took that down and edited it. So it wouldn't look pathetic, okay? It's all mind games, but really the only person he's fooling is himself. Like, it's really rather sad and pathetic is what it is, okay? That he's playing all these games, but really, he's playing them with himself, okay? So I look on here, and about the 5th comment down says, Shane, this better not be your last new video, but your latest new video. And somebody said, don't worry, I think he means his last new video, as in his most recent upload. Which, don't you think that my last, it just said my last video. Okay, so this is where it kills me. When people want to make excuses for people, he said on there, my last video. Okay, anybody in the world, when you put up a video and you're like this, and you go, my last video on YouTube, okay? You don't, we've all done it. We've all done clickbait titles like that, okay? Maybe once in a blue moon, not as much as Shane Dawson does. Shane Dawson literally does it on every single video, okay? But when you do that, and you go to that person's video, and they're like, well, I thought about leaving YouTube, but I'm not going to. That's what it always is, or something like that, right? Or this is my last video that I'm going to be posting of 2023, or something like that, right? It's always something like that. But this person wants to explain away Shane Dawson's buffoonery and say, don't worry, like this person over here is like clutching their pearls, so worried that Shane Dawson's not going to make another video. I think he means his last new video. That's what you took from that, girl. You are so defensive of Shane Dawson that he put on there. You don't see that it's absolute clickbait, that he edited it out of there just to get people to watch his video. But you want to say, oh no, he meant his last new video. Well, why doesn't he put that on all of his videos then? My last video. My last video. But he doesn't do that. He did that because he wasn't getting very good views on that channel, which is why he posted that on there. Okay. So I go over to his community tab, and I started noticing this kind of stuff where he's still up to the same games. This might be the craziest episode we've ever filmed. See you Wednesday, and this is on about his podcast. Craziest episode ever, right? Okay. We started a podcast, Fights, with Shane and Rylan, episode 1. We're starting to do some new audio-only podcasts. This video podcast is still coming tomorrow, so don't worry. We'll never stop doing videos. This is just for fun. This show is me and Rylan talking about our life, fighting about anything and everything, because that's what people always constantly say, is that they're fighting, right? Cringe. You know, absolute cringe. I like seeing real couples on YouTube. You know, I just talked about this in my video the other day. I don't love to see when couples are like, we love each other so much, but I also don't love to see couples that are constantly fighting and getting digs in at each other. I think it's cruel and it's uncomfortable to watch, all right? So I don't want to watch or listen to an hour of Shane Dawson and Rylan going at each other. That to me, when they're getting ready to start a family, to me, like, that is not funny. That's not funny and that's not cute to watch. Like, I don't want to see that, okay? I want couples to last and work through that stuff. You know, find a marriage counselor and don't feel the need to film it. That's all I have to say about all that, okay? So then he goes on and he says all this kind of stuff, and this is that post. And then he says up here, hold on a second. Something very different coming this Wednesday, SDTV, okay? And then he posts on here, new video out now. And then he puts new series, SDT, Shane Dawson Television. Hope you guys like this new kind of video. I'd love to make lots more. So if you want that, let me know. So excited to see what you think of the vibes, okay? And I was like, what is this? So you just came out with a new podcast with Ryland, okay? You got your podcast with everybody. You got your Shane 2 channel that you've been posting on more regularly. You don't post on your Shane channel very often, which is where you garner your most views. And you have to do all this trickery marketing because you can't get people, because people don't really want to watch your videos. And now I'm wondering, of these 1 to 3 million views that you're getting, are half of those just re-clicks because you change your titles and your thumbnails so much? So are you really only getting half amount of views? Which really still, to be honest, 500,000 to 1.5 million views is still good viewership, you know? I don't know what he's complaining about. It's still good money. And Ryland's, you know, filming videos left and right over here. So I went over to the Reddit thread, the Shane Dawson Reddit thread, and I thought it was interesting because I saw a bunch of stuff come up. And one of the things I saw was them talking about this new video series that he's putting up. And somebody put, so something different is the exact same content he always makes. And I was reading the content and it says, people are saying, I feel like he's realized that his food and conspiracy theories era was when he peaked in terms of success as a creator. So he's trying to return to that, but YouTube culture has moved on from that era. So he just comes off as cringy and out of touch. People are saying he's copying other people. It starts one more video with, I don't know what this video is, or I probably won't post this, or I'm going to lose it. We get it. You're trying to gaslight and garner sympathy. We didn't forget everything you have done, and acting like an edgy teenager doesn't make it any better. He even stated his age a few times in this video, and I'm like, if you know you're in your mid-30s, please start acting like it. False advertising, over hyping, shame, man stealing ideas. When is he going to learn? Him doing the same thing isn't going to gather him the same kind of viewership it did before the cancellation. I really do enjoy Shane as a viewer, but like, come on, we're over the gimmicks. And this is gimmicks, is what it is. It's Shane and his gimmicks that are going to lead to people just being done with him and not watching him, instead of him actually coming up with new series that he could do. You know, and this is the thing. And I'm just saying this in all sincerity. And I watched the video, okay? So I want y'all to know, I watched this video of Shane Dawson, and here it is, and this is on, hold on a second, this is on his Shane 2 channel, and the SDTV is literally a trailer at the beginning of it, and it's a food conspiracy video, is what it is, okay? I tried banned and discontinued products, and it's all Twinkie stuff, okay? It's a video like a million other videos he's done. The only thing different about it is that he has this trailer at the beginning of it with this TV that says SDTV on it and things like that. Well, Shane Dawson actually already has a channel. If you go up here and you look at his channels, he already has a channel on here called Shane Dawson Television or TV that he hasn't posted on in 6 years. So I don't know, is that an old new idea, Shane? I'm very confused by all this, okay? And like I said, I don't mean this to be, like, to be mean, and I know people are going to be like, oh, you're coming so hard for Shane Dawson, blah, 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 blah. Listen, y'all wanted to call, you super fans out there wanted to say he was a genius, okay? And that he deserved Netflix series, and that Jeffree Star series, which I truly believe he stole from, listen, whatever, okay? James Charles is so problematic, I don't really care. But I believe he got that entire idea from James Charles, okay? So I don't believe that was an original idea. I don't really believe that Shane Dawson has ever had really an original idea, okay? I think he reads his comments, and I think what a lot of people say is what he does. For example, a lot of people were saying things about he and Ryland constantly fighting. Let's turn that into a podcast. You know, at the time the Graveyard Girl thing came out, a lot of people were like, Graveyard Girl, you need to help her. Like, blah, 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 blah. He did the Graveyard Girl thing. A lot of people knew that he was friends with Tana. He did the TanaCon thing, right? It's like, these ideas are not like these genius ideas that he comes up with, okay? They're ideas that actually he picks and chooses from other people. The thing is if Shane Dawson were really that talented or that genius, I mean, where's the horror movie that he said he was putting out, you know?
And I know people are going to be like, well, he doesn't have the budget for that. Do you guys realize there are independent filmmakers that literally do like Kickstarter accounts and things like that to get the budgets for their movies to start because they're so passionate about starting a horror movie? Do you have any idea that the original Halloween by John Carpenter, I mean, do you have any idea the budget for that movie and how much it's grossed over the years? I mean, do you guys have any idea that he could literally, with what he has, he could put his money, I mean, all these makeup influencers that put their money from making makeup back into their own brands. Shane Dawson, if he really wanted to make a horror movie so bad, could do that. And all these people months ago said, oh, he's coming out with this horror movie. Where's the update about the horror movie? Where's him talking about he's coming out with this horror? He's not. Because he constantly is second guessing himself because really what he cares about is the views, the subscribers, and the followers. And it's pathetic. Because if he really got back to what he loves and doing what he loves, the people that love him would continue to follow him, would continue to watch him, okay? A lot of the people have left because Shane Dawson had a very small window in time to come out and address the cancellation. He chose not to do that. Myself and many other drama commentary channels gave him that very good advice at the time that he needed to sit down with his audience and just be for real and not just some half-assed apology. I even said he should come out and do a 3-part series about the cancellation and how he started on YouTube and explain all of it and explain the humor of the time. Turn that camera on himself like he's turning on all these other people and made them uncomfortable, okay? Turn it on himself. That video would garner a lot of viewership. And that video where he could have talked about why he did that humor, why he thought that humor was okay at that time, and how he's changed over time and explained about therapy and how Ryland's helped him as a person and who he wants to be, starting a family and how he wants to change. That video, if he did that series, a 3 or 4 part series, would be fantastic for his career, okay? And I'm giving him some very good advice. Because like I've said for all of these people, I don't dislike these people. I want these people to grow, right? But he's stuck, and he's trying to figure out, what is my audience like? Well, my audience likes conspiracy videos, which they do. My audience likes the food videos. So let's go back to that, but let's call it something different. Let's trick it up. So if they think it's something different, but it really isn't something different, you know? If Shane Dawson was really that big of a genius, and I'm not saying that I'm a genius, okay? I barely graduated from high school. I am just somebody sitting here as a drama commentary channel picking ideas out of my ASS, okay? And trust me, I could come up with 15 to 20 really good ideas for Shane Dawson. I just came up with one, okay? He's too afraid to do that. All these people are too afraid to do that. I remember way back in the day talking to another drama commentary channel and talking about a video that I wanted to make. And this person said to me at the time, the video that you are afraid to make is the video that you should make, okay? And I remember that person saying that to me, you know, and that's kind of like writer's block a little bit. Like when, you know, if you talk to writers about having writer's block is when you know you should be talking about something, but you're afraid to address it. You're afraid to talk it. You're afraid about going there, right? Shane Dawson doesn't want to go there, right? But that would revamp his whole career of going in and doing these series. If he turned the camera on himself, then he could turn the camera again on anybody else that he wanted to do. And people would maybe take him, some people would take him seriously, but at least he could put that wreckage of his past behind him and say, I addressed everything that everybody wants me to address. Now I can move on. The reason he doesn't do that is because he knows he hasn't addressed everything from this past. And he knows that there are going to be people out there that are going to still hold him and say, we haven't forgotten what you did. Well, come out and address what they haven't forgotten that you did. Come out and talk about it. Explain why you did those things. Do a series on yourself, Shane. People would love that, you know? You finished with that trash? Yeah. I'm almost finished with my trash, too. Anyway, you know, there's 1,000,001 ideas that Shane Dawson could come up with as a YouTuber. For all those people out there that want to say he is such a genius, if he's such a genius, why does he go back to the same stale ideas? Why doesn't he come up with new original ideas, you know? And I don't know why he's so pressed to constantly change all this kind of stuff when he's getting pretty good views, unless the views are fake, and he knows that. Unless the views are reclicks off of thumbnail changes and title changes, and he knows that. I don't know, you know? But Shane Dawson comes across to me as somebody that's very desperate and very threatened that his career is on the line, you know? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.